Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, June 21st. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so you can please go follow me over on there. I will also have show notes, so the links to the things I will be talking about will be on my blog. So if you're on YouTube, the link to that will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I may forget to put things. I may not. I don't know. We will see. Just kind of depends from week to week, you know. I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will include all of the social media website, come see us, information, all the places. So if you're interested in checking us out, that would be wonderful. I have a lot to talk about. And I also feel like I have nothing to talk about, and I feel like I say that every single week. So we'll see how this episode turns out. I do have a treat today. It's orange. And it's Thai tea, iced Thai tea, and I love Thai tea. It is so good. I do not have sweetening condensed milk, so I made do with the various sweeteners and creamers that I had. So it's still very tasty, but I saw a box of the tea bags at our HEB and just could not pass it up because it was also on sale, so why not? And it is so good. So that is what we are enjoying, or what I am enjoying today. If you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, maybe you're on your lunch break, maybe you're working out, maybe you are just listening. I don't know what you are doing, but I hope you're relaxing. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. This is so good. I love it so much. Love that flavor. So, everyone, where to begin? I don't know where to begin. Sounds like a song, but it's not actually a song. It's a song that I created. That happens quite a bit around here. If you are new to the podcast, I sing all the time. Whether it be sound effects or actually songs of me making up songs as I go, or songs that are actually already written. I do that quite a lot. And there's no shame. No shame. I've gotten a poop ton of progress on my woolen honey. And I'm very proud of myself. I thought about pushing myself and like getting things done, potentially even completely completed. Wow, that was completely completed. You know what I mean. But I didn't, because I listened to what my knitting needs were. I listened to myself and what I really wanted, and I wanted to work on something else, so I did. And I stopped working on this after I got so far. I'm pretty sure I need to try it on again. Fun fact. I did try it on though. We all saw the picture. If you follow me on Instagram, we saw the picture for proof. I did try it on. It did happen. And now check out how much of the body I've knit. And you're like, why is it doing this weird little pooching thing? And I would tell you I added some decreases because I wanted to. Because I know what kind of shapes I like of my sweaters. Look how much I got done. Like, what? So, we had a lot of family events in the middle of this past week. We had to drive to Tyler for a funeral and a memorial service. So, yes, Sam's great-grandmother passed away couple weekends ago. She's almost 105, so she lived a very long and wonderful life, and we are glad that she's no longer like having to deal with doctor's appointments. She went very peacefully. It was really wonderful. It was great to see everybody and just celebrate life. But I got a lot of knitting done. Like this. This was my car knitting. This was like driving back in the dark car knitting because it was all garter stitch. You know, which, I mean, I could have messed up and I could have purled or knit an extra round or whatever. I don't know. Thankfully, I did not. Thankfully, I did not. That would have been very sad. I guess if I had done that, I would have been like, this is just a good excuse to try it on. Not that I need an excuse, because I don't need an excuse to try it on. I just need to try it on. So this is my Wool and Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is the back. I'm knitting it out of Knit Picks palette in the Pumice Heather colorway, and I just love it. I cannot even. So when I did try it on, my length that I was going for was significantly less than what it called for in the pattern, and there are multiple reasons for that I can think of. One, I'm using a bigger needle size, so my gauge is going to be bigger, and that's totally fine, and I like that. Like, that's not a bad thing for me. I really like that. I can make the adjustments and make it work, and I enjoy the knitting process more. Two, it was mainly just one. One was the only reason. I don't know why I thought there were multiple reasons. There may be that I'm just not thinking of in this moment, but the main one that I'm thinking of is that my gauge is bigger. So because of that, it goes further down my arm, the sleeve length, so I'm going to have to adjust the length of my sleeve. The length of the body will also be lower. Not a big deal, not a problem, because we can make adjustments as we go, because this pattern and knitting patterns and crocheting patterns are really just wonderful templates to make something that is yours. Right? Right. So, like I said, I need to try it on again because I need to make sure that I'm getting there, because I'm pretty sure I hit the length that I was wanting, and in which case I need to do the ribbing now, and still need to try it on for the sleeve purposes. But if we want real progress, we can see where I was last week. And what? Look at all that garter stitch. So good. We have our line here, which is the beginning of the round. It's not my favorite, but it'll be in the back. So, like, I feel like I can't complain too much, but there is a line because it is garter stitch. Where is it? There it is. You can kind of see it. Because you're knitting garter stitch in the round, you are switching what you're doing every single round, hence the line. It would be the same thing if I was doing color, any other stitch pattern, which is fine. It's just the fact of the matter. It's just how things work. But yeah, I am, excuse me. That was a very sudden yawn. I'm very much looking forward to trying this on again and being able to wear it and finish it. Because yes, my plan is to, when I try it on next, I will confirm the length of the body, and then also measure for my sleeves, because I foresee the sleeves being very short, because again, like I said, so if it's up here, which the neckline is very high, this is like almost to my elbow. So that means I only have to knit from here all the way to my wrist, which I know you can't see, but you know, that's just how it works. From here to there, which is not that long. And with the wonders of 12-inch circular needles and just mindless knitting, it will not take long at all. And we do know in fact that the second sleeve always goes faster. So, I'm not sure if there's any shaping or decreases in the sleeves. I may add that if they're not. If there is not, I should say. That's more grammatically correct. I don't remember if there are, so I could be completely wrong. If there are, I'll just follow the pattern. If not, I will add my own. You know? Because, again, because my gauge is bigger, my armhole is significantly bigger as well, which I really like. Again, I like, give me all the positive E's, give me all the oversized things. I just love it. I'm more comfortable in those things. I love negative E's, and I do love more form-fitting things, but I prefer more positive E's. It's just more comfy, in my opinion, for me to wear. But since this sweater is more boxy and definitely more oversized, and for me, and more just oversized, I don't want my sleeves to be super oversized because I know that they'll get baggy and they will look, I don't know, not the look I'm going for. If that's the look that I know that I have sweaters that are bigger and baggier, and the sleeves are also big and baggy, and I love that because that looks better with that sweater. But for me and the look that I'm going for with this sweater specifically, oh, we're pulling stitches, I want a tighter fitting sleeve. So I will probably make sure I get those decreases in. We'll go ahead and put it away in this bag. But yeah, I like started off with a brand new ball of yarn, excuse me, and made it more than halfway through that ball of yarn. So got a lot of knitting, got a lot of knitting done. It was very good. Very good indeed. And there's more to come, you know? So next up, what have I been working on? I've made so much progress on this. People, like, you're gonna be astounded. And you're also gonna be able to tell that I have a different needle size that I'm working with. But that's okay. Locking fixes everything. So this is my Basque shawl by Samantha Gurin. And I don't even know why or how I've just magically made so much progress on this. Last week I did say that I didn't want to fall into the cycle of like working on it a little bit, bringing it and showing it to you guys on the podcast, and then putting it away and not working on it again for a long time. So I think that was spurring me on. Also, I finally got into the rhythm of like, excuse me, my fading, because that was a little, not concerning, maybe confusing for me. I just wasn't confident in where I was fading, and that's like not anybody's fault. That's literally just my own overthinking things. But yeah. So here's where we were last week, and I did all of that. Can we even? So yeah, we can tell it's way more dense down here and super dense down at the very bottom. And then we have increased, and we're feeling much more confident and more loosey-goosey about things because our gauge has opened up significantly. Why that is, I have no idea. And it really, like, it kind of bothers me in a way that, like, I don't understand, in a way that I don't know why it is that way. Because I've knit this, I was knitting this on a 6, and I don't know why it was so tight. And, like, I don't know why it was just not my normal 6 fingering weight gauge, and it was not what I wanted. So that's why I went up to a 7, and we are just going mighty fine. Mighty fine. And I've reached, I'm past the point. It's asymmetrical, so you start at the one side and you increase and you increase and increase, and then you start shifting the spine so it's like kind of off center a little bit, and then you start decreasing on one side and increasing on the other. Again, maintaining that stitch count. And so I have started doing that. Would it be helpful if I showed you the right side? I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if any of this makes sense. I don't know, like, I'm really gonna have to block this thing out. And again, it's no one's fault except for my own. We can blame the freeze for this one section because it was not a fun time, and it was very nerve-wracking, stressful. I should have just gone up a needle size. It's not enough to bother me to rip it all out and redo it. I did think about that for a moment, for a hot second. I was like, should I just rip this all out and knit this on a 7? But no. No. I love these colors though. Can we even? So this, my wonderful friends, now that we've talked enough about my gauge changes, we can talk about the yarn, because that is really just, the combination of the yarn and the pattern are really what is amazing here. So like I said, the pattern is called the Basque Shawl pattern by Samantha Gurin. I test knit a hat for her at the end of last year, right around Christmas time. It was wonderful. She is so sweet and writes very amazing patterns. And I loved working on this. Like, there's some brioche lace. It's super fun. Not overly complicated, but enough to be like, I have to focus what I'm doing here. I have to remember. It has helped me solidify brioche decreases left and right and which ones they are. But my yarn was special because it is Hugh Loco's Birthstone mini skein set from February. So this is Amethyst, which if you are new to the podcast, that is my birthday month and my birthstone. So this was my birthday cast on during the freeze. It was literally the day before. The 16th is when it got bad. My birthday is the 15th, and it's why this is so tight. Like, it has to be. It's just so crazy. Anyway, memories in this shawl are wonderful. Love it. And yeah, it's gonna block out pretty bigly, because that's a word, pretty huge, I think, I hope. I need to obviously finish it before I can block it, but I am looking forward to seeing how it blocks out, and so I can relax this little section, because it is just, it's curling, like it won't hang straight. That's just not my gauge, that's not how I knit, and it bothers me. It's nothing against how, like, if you knit this way, there's nothing against that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just, this is not what I was going for. This is not what I was wanting. Because, again, blocking helps. Your surroundings, your just mindset, whatever, your mental health is important when it comes to knitting, because it will change your gauge. Sounds kind of crazy. I promise it will. It will change. It will change. But yeah, this is the color I'm working on. This is the second to last color. I only have, what am I trying to say? I only have one more mini skein that I have not broken into yet. And so depending on where I end up with this and the other one, I will go back to the others and use those up as well, because I do have quite a few. I've used up a good amount of all of them. I just haven't used up completely all of them, of each one. That makes sense? But yeah, this is super fun. I would highly recommend this. I believe this is the bigger version. She may have a smaller version. And I can't remember what the name of it is. But I would highly recommend you checking out her on Instagram and on her or just checking out her patterns in general, and also following Hugh Loco on Instagram if you are unfamiliar with her yarns. It's wonderful. It's just so good. And she's from Colorado, so that's cool too. Yes. And I have been loving my Little Bitty Delights donut, glazed donut. I had a sparkle donut on my Wool and Honey, also from Little Bitty Delights. I just can't even, can we? It is so cute. And I'm gonna move this now so I don't forget, but you know what, who knows, crazier things have happened. I may have this finished by next week, I may not. We have quite a busy weekend and week upcoming, because a dear friend of ours is getting, our friends, because we know both of them, are getting married this weekend. And I am in the wedding, and that is very wonderful. And so knitting time may be decreased for a very wonderful cause, but I'd like to get this done. I could see myself getting this done. It's just, at this point, it's very mindless. Like, I do the brioche, it's super easy peasy. I do have to watch. It's not like I can read while I do it, but, you know. Garter stitch, though, super easy. Love it so much. Okay, so, everyone, next up. This is a new cast on. This is my new test knit. This is my Sunday Fun Day sweater by Jill of Knitterella. My yarn did arrive, which is really awesome. And after it arrived, I realized that I'm not gonna need it or I will need it eventually. I just don't need it right off the bat because I start with my contrasting colors. So I really could have used that time waiting for my yarn to arrive to actually get started on my project, and I didn't, and I just, ugh. I feel like I wasted time. I know it's really okay. It was not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So, everyone, we do have a fun color palette. I'm very excited. We have I was wearing this at work, and then I got too hot, so I took it off and then just put it in my bag. I am just knitting around and 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 around. But it's very nice. I am definitely enjoying it. It's very obviously mindless because, again, did you hear, I'm knitting around and around. I'm currently working, I went super deep stash diving. We're just gonna hang out like this. Hi, how are you? You feel very close. I'm leaning forward on my knees, that's why I'm lower down. I went super deep stash diving for this. I am using all yarn that I don't even remember when I got. Like, I don't even know. Middle of college, before college, beginning of college, somewhere around there, I feel like. So, here we have this very beautiful, like, cranberry color, a dark cranberry, and it's kind of blowing everything out. So if we hold it back here, that doesn't help. This is my first color. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. I think. I could be wrong. It's a DK. I do know that. I do know that because it will work with the gauge. And then what I'm working with now is super fun. This is, again, very, very, very old. This is Malabrigo Finito. Do they even make that base anymore? I don't know. Like, it's that old. And this is the Coffee Toffee colorway. And I just love it so much. I had another skein of it. They're little baby 50-gram skeins. And this looks smaller and very perfectly wound. Because the first time I wound it, it was a failure. And I continued to knit with it and then made a horrible mess. And Debbie very kindly helped me fix it at the yarn shop, and it was very wonderful of her because it was a massive mess. And now it's very nicely wound again. So we are doing mighty fine, but I just love these colors. It's very warm, rosy brown. And I just really love it. And then my third color will be this guy, which is, oops, it's not cranberry. It looks very similar to the first color. I promise you that it is not. It is definitely very different. This is Eden Cottage Yarns. Do I have the ball bands in here? That would definitely help. You know, I could be doing all the, yes. Should have, yes. Finito, Finito. Coffee Toffee from Malabrigo. What am I saying? Eden Cottage. I did use, I have a little bit left over from the first color, and I want to add some stripes to my sleeves. So I did set that aside. Okay. So yeah, this is Eden Cottage Yarns, hand-dyed yarn from Yorkshire, which is super awesome. I have been, all of these yarns, for some reason, I've been saving for the perfect project, and we all have those yarns. We all have those special skeins that we're like, I don't know if this is like the right thing for it. Like it needs the most perfect thing because I love this so much. And then inevitably you never find the right thing because it's, or in my experience, I never find the right thing because it's never like good enough for that yarn, which is dumb. Because like you got the yarn, enjoy the yarn. Put it in a fun project, okay? It's okay. It's okay. And I have now itched my eye, and my eye is very itchy. Woo! Anyway, the Coffee Toffee and this Eden Cottage Yarns are two of those things. And so this is the Boland DK, and the colorway is Black Magic Rose. But I honestly don't know if Eden Cottage Yarns is still a thing. It may be, it may not be. But this is, back here is pretty accurate. Black Magic Rose. I love it. So I am quite looking forward to this. So this is, it's kind of hard to, ooh, I love that. The bottom one is the darkest, this is the lightest, and then we have this one. And then my main color will be this taupey color, which I don't know if it has a name. Taupe is the color. Look at me go. I know so much about yarn. This is actually Lion brand yarn that I've really been wanting to try, and this was the perfect opportunity. So I took advantage. I have 3 skeins. This is the Feels Like Alpaca, and it says a new soft favorite from Lion brand, which is funny because there's actually no alpaca, but it feels like there is. It is 85 or 87% acrylic. It is 7% polyester and 6% nylon. It is a number 3. It's DK weight. If you are interested, you can machine wash it and you can tumble dry it. The color is taupe 125B, and this is the color. And here is the ball band. And really, and you can tell, like, this is a floppy skein. Like, this is, normally it would be up like that, but it's just, it's very floppy. And I actually didn't even know that it didn't have alpaca in it, or I had forgotten until I read it just now. And so that goes to show you how well made this yarn is, because it looks like it has that, and it feels like it has alpaca in it. So I'm very excited to knit up this combination. Currently just knitting around and around and around and around. The striping is nice, and I know once I get to the main body, we'll see where I am inches wise after the stripes, because that will determine how much I have left to go. But the stripes are pretty big. The stripes, I don't remember how many rows are. But it is a V-neck sweater by Jill of Knitterella. And I am so excited to be test knitting for her. I have been a fan of hers for a long time and have knit several of her patterns forever ago. Yeah, I just saw the call go out for this Sunday Fun Day sweater, and it was just so cute, and love a good V-neck. I've said this before, and I feel like I don't always do a good job of this, but I try. Like, in theory, I really want to live this way. I want to have this as like my goal. But like, if I see something at Target or, I don't know, any clothing shop that's knit, I would like to be able to knit that instead. And not for the sake of being able to say that I knit that, though that is really awesome, but if I know that I can knit it, I would like to be able to do it opposed to buying it, because, I don't know. I'm filling my wardrobe with things that I've made, and though I can't sew my own clothes currently, because I'd like to learn how to do that or figure out how to do that more soon, because my mom gave me her sewing machine. This I can knit, and I can knit sweaters. So this sweater looked like something that I would want to buy at a clothing place. So that was the big reason for me wanting to test it. Also because it's super cute. Good stash buster too. Because you can stash buster, we can do stash busting, or you can try out fun new yarns, such as Feels Like Alpaca that doesn't have any alpaca in it from Lion Brand, and just try on new things, you know. It's a new day, new yarn, experimenting, yarn adventures. It's wonderful. It's so great. So next up, we have something that I haven't worked on, but we're gonna have a little story time because I was very unprepared and I was embarrassed. I was not prepared. As a knitter, I was just not even. So what is this yarn? It's definitely not a Knit Picks palette, which is what that ball band is. This is Amethyst Storm. I do know that. I don't really know oh, I do know. It's Explorer. Explorer Fiber Arts. I feel really bad for forgetting this. Granted, I have not worked on this in forever, and I don't have the ball band in this bag. Explorer Knits. Can I see your ball band? No, that's not it. I honestly don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I do have it on my Ravelry project page. So that is that. I do apologize. I should have it. I should know it, but I don't. But anyway, this is the, oh goodness gracious, we're gonna have to remember all this stuff. Okay, so the pattern name is called Hot Oatmeal. It is a shawl pattern. It is written by Sweater Freak. Do remember that. I did find a Little Bitty Delights progress keeper that I've been looking for and is one of my favorites, so that's nice. I cast this on for our family Colorado trip before my parents even thought about moving there, so back in last August, so it's almost been a year. Haha. Go me. And ooh, this is just so pretty. I love this so much. So I pulled it out because for some reason I was just wanting to work on it, and I was like, It was a languishing whip. I wanted to get some progress on it. And pulled it out to go to church because it was going to be my church project for the day. And I pulled it out and I didn't have any needles. There were no needles. It was on a Scooby. There were no needles. Did I say there are no needles? There were no knitting needles. It was like, oh no. The minute I saw it, I remember doing it, and I don't even know what project it went to, but I do know I remember doing it. I remember putting it on the Scooby. I know I've put it back on needles and taken it back off again depending on what I was working on. And I was like so bound and determined to work on this thing. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I know I was working on 6s, but these spare needles, the 16-inch size 8, it's 2 sizes bigger than what I was using, these pair of needles that I had in my notions bag, because I don't know why I did, but I did. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it work. I will make it work. And unfortunately, due to tricky circumstances and just not being prepared, stitches came completely off my Scooby. I had to pick it up, but because I was picking it up with an 8 and not a 6, the needle wouldn't fit, so I couldn't use the needle. I had a hard time finding a tapestry needle that would work because I was going to use the Scooby to thread it in, and so I put the Scooby on the pointy bit of the tapestry needle and then was weaving in through the stitches with the head of the tapestry needle, which was just too big, too lumpy, not a good time. And I eventually got it, and it was like, I don't like this. How could I not have knitting needles? What? So this is currently on a size 8, 16-inch for Shawl. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet because I was working on other things on Sunday. We went to go hang out with Sam's family for Father's Day. And because I was also very annoyed with this project, so I just was like, nope, we're just gonna set this aside. I did figure out where it was in the pattern though, so that's good. But yeah, so I'm just piddling along. I will put it on actual needles that I will be using. I was thinking about going up to a 7 actually, just because, why not? It's a shawl. The gauge doesn't really matter. Depending on what I have available, I guess I should also say that. I do know that I do have 6s available, so for shawls. So I may just do that because that's what I was using, might as well. But also, might as well go up a needle size while I'm changing needle sizes, I don't know. So, that is this pattern. It is not mindless currently because I basically have to relearn the pattern, which is fine. It's very simple, very straightforward. But if we remember correctly, this lace, I don't think I've done it correctly or the same way twice in a row. This lace is very messed up, and it doesn't bother me. Like it still looks like lace. It still looks nice. Like, only I think if you looked at it closely, you would realize that there were mistakes. I was gonna say messed up, and then I was wanting to say mistakes, so that's why it sounded weird. But yeah, like you can't tell that my lace is really wonky. So yeah, I need to figure out what the lace is doing. Hopefully I'll be able to wrap my head around the lace a little bit better so I'm not constantly making mistakes. Even though it doesn't matter, it's fine. I will put it on actual needles. I mean, these are needles, but the right needles, not a 16-inch needle that's clearly for a hat or a sleeve or a collar, not a shawl. I also need to figure out, because the pattern, I think, calls for a certain number of repeats, and if I remember correctly, that was significantly smaller than what I was going for, and I don't know why. So I need to understand what is going on and how to make adjustments, which should not be too challenging at all. It's just probably adding repeats and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think it will probably replace my Basque shawl. I was pointing to it down there. My Basque shawl once I finish that. So hopefully I can finish my Basque shawl soon. And throw this hot oatmeal into the mix, you know. So that is all that I have for projects that I have worked on. But, dear friends, the Olympics are coming. Are we so excited? I'm so excited. I am so excited. So there will be like summer games, activities, and stuff going on with Pearly Girls. That will be announced and explained soon. So keep your eyes peeled if you want to be involved with that. But my plan is to, so also we're doing the Ziggy scarf shawl thing as a crochet along, and you can do that as something that challenges you for the Olympics or the summer games, or you can do it just as the crochet along. I'll probably just do it as a crochet along because I don't know. I have something in mind for my challenging project, and I've had this yarn for a good long while. Let's hope the pattern's in here to, wait, what is this other yarn down in here? I thought it was just all this. Don't even know. Oh goodness gracious, is the pattern not in here? Oh, no, that's not it. I was gonna show you the pattern. I also have a bunch of drops alpaca in here, but this is not what I'm using. That is for something else that I have written down somewhere that I cannot remember off the top of my head. But I have a bunch of palette here. We love a good palette moment. We love good Knit Picks palette. And let me hold up my color palette that I have. We'll use our heads to hold these skeins. Now we'll use our chin. Okay, so we got a dark palette. We got some dark brown. We got some really dark brown. We got some navy. We got some olive green. Yeah, we'll use our face. This just works better. And then we have this light blue. Oh my goodness, can we even? I'm so excited. Like, okay, so this is going to be a steeked cardigan, a steeked colorwork cardigan. This is going to be Winterfell. Winterfell? I believe that is how it's pronounced, but I could be wrong. But it's by Ellie of Skein Deer Knits. There's a pullover version. There's a steeked version. Steeking, I've done it before, and I've done it quite a few times. It's not scary necessarily. Woo! Okay, well, we don't need to show this anymore. We'll just set those guys down. Steeking doesn't scare me necessarily. It's just that I don't know, I haven't figured out how to do it well for me. Because when I've steeked before, the parts that I like flap over and sew down is always really lumpy, which is on me. And I just need to figure out how to do that correctly and neatly. I also really want to get some fun ribbon for this because I have not done that for any of my steeked items, and I just think it is so cute. And I think this would be super fun for this. So this will be a steeked cardigan, steeked colorwork cardigan. I'm very excited for the Olympics. Finally decided. I had options. There was another steeked cardigan, and then there was the Enchanted Mesa by Stephen West, which is 100% going to happen at some point. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. But I want to do that so badly. But that was not a super big challenge for me. It would be fun, but it would be just lugging around a bunch of colors. Just playing around with color. It's not a challenge necessarily. I mean, it could be a challenge. It's really up to you, whatever challenges you and what you want to be as your challenge. So I'm excited about this. The Olympics, I believe, start July 23rd, and I am so excited. What are your favorite events to watch? We love gymnastics. Obviously, gymnastics is a big one. There's swimming is big. We love diving as well. I grew up watching volleyball, running. Sam, my husband, he's very into weightlifting, and so we may try and find the weightlifting events. Powerlifting, I think, is what they're technically called, so that might be interesting. But yeah, I'm very excited to watch the Olympics. I love the Olympics so much. They are just so much fun, and I'm glad that they're finally happening this year. I know it was very sad last year when they couldn't happen, so I'm glad that they can finally happen. We can have our fun, challenging projects. We can do these summer games through Pearly Girls and all that kind of fun stuff. So, fun things to come. Keep your eyes peeled. All that jazz. So, that is, I think, all that I have for you guys this week. I need to somehow smash all this yarn back in this bag. Though, really, it should probably be put in another bag because this is gonna get started soon. You know, I'm very excited. I've had this yarn for so long. I mean, and it's always meant, it's always, what am I trying to say? It was always going to be this cardigan. Like, I got it specifically for making this cardigan, and I just never have, because there were other colorwork things that I wanted to do. There were other test knits that I was doing, and my time is now, you know. I thought about picking something I needed to get yarn for, but you know what? I was like, I have this yarn. Steeking, I need to figure it out. We'll take this time and we'll steek. We'll get it right. You know what? Granted, I only have one shot at steeking it, but it's not the steeking part, it's the finishing, I should say. That's the problem that I have issues with, or need to figure out what works best for me. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me rant and ramble, and we didn't talk about the weather. It's really hot. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's really hot and not very fun to talk about. I have social medias, I have show notes, I have yarn store information, all the places. If you have any questions or just want to say hi, please feel free to send me a message. I would love to answer any questions if I forgot something, or if you just want to say hi, we can have a chat. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. We know all my crafty plans, we know my upcoming crafty plans. This is very exciting. So will my Basque shawl be finished by next week? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very close though. This has been my K-drama project recently. It's a lot of fun. I really love it. Anyway, so that is all that I have for you guys this week. Sorry, I feel like this is an abrupt ending, but I gotta go. I got things to do. I've got laundry to fold. I'm making beer bread from Half Baked Harvest this afternoon for dinner, or to go with dinner, not just for dinner. there will be an actual meal. The bread will be a side, though bread can be a wonderful meal. This is not how I wanted to end this podcast, but that's okay. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to making that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, hanging out, being you, being wonderful. And with that, I will see you guys next week.